Good evening, believers. Hello, how are you doing today? This is Love Coach Dasha coming to you today for the Healing Hour Live. Now, if you've never been with me before, here on Instagram or here on Facebook and YouTube, I am a love coach who specifically works with women who want to stay and work things out after infidelity. I know, crazy. I know it seems like a crazy thing because that's what everybody tells you, right? That this is a crazy thing to do and it's not possible to ever stay, but I am here to be a witness. I stayed. It is 16 years later. Things are going well. We are happy. We are trusting. The place in my chest that used to hurt so bad after the infidelity doesn't hurt anymore. And I want to tell you how to get there. I know how miserable it was for me. I want you to know the tips and the tricks to get there. So, this is what I do every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do the Healing Hour Live. Hello, sweet island chick over there. I see you on Instagram. Hey, girl. All right. Glad that you're here. Glad that you're here. Come on in over here on Facebook. If you're catching me on YouTube, even better. Cool. If you don't like me or follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. And if you don't, are not a part of the My Love After Cheating group in Facebook, come on over there and get in that group because I'm in there on a regular basis. I'm regularly answering questions besides just this Thursday night thing. So I am here for you. I want to hear what's going on with you. I want to help you be able to get to a better place in your relationship after this infidelity has gone down. Okay? All right, I can see everything lovely. All right, so I always start off with the same things because I teach you what you can do about being traumatized this way. If you're going to heal, if you're going to get better, if you're going to be together after this, you've got to heal this trauma. There's no other way. You can't stick together and just let that wound fester and expect that time or even him that he's going to be able to heal that. You are going to have to be the one to heal that. And I want you to start working on that right now because there's no better time. If you start working on it right now, you'll get there a lot faster, okay? I want you to know the things that you can do right this minute that you alone can do that are going to start to help you deal with this trauma, get to a better place emotionally, in your head, mentally, okay? So, first thing we're always going to do every single solitary week, we're going to do our deep breathing. Have you been doing your deep breathing? I ask every single week, and I'm trying to tell you, my groups, my one-to-one clients, it does not matter. I ask them all the time, and they all say, I wasn't doing my deep breathing. Do your deep breathing, okay? You must get on this. This is the key number one thing that is going to help you to start to get yourself back together. Get in control of your emotions. Get off this emotional roller coaster that you're on to be able to make the decision to stay. All right. Right now, I bet you it's feeling like you're on the fence, right? It's back and forth. You're not quite sure what you want to do. That's because you are still responding to the trauma. Your body is doing something right now that you're not totally aware of. It is going through the motions of a traumatic response. And so that makes you feel unsure of everything. It makes you feel like, well, how could I possibly stay with him? There's no way because I feel this bad. We've got to stop feeling so bad to be able to stay. All right. It's not the sting that makes you feel better. It is actual effort on your part that is going to make you feel better. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do before anything else is do our deep breathing. What you're going to do is blow out, try and exhale and get all of the air out of your lungs, okay? If you've been in this state for a while, you have probably been breathing in a different pattern than you normally breathe. You are probably breathing more slowly, more fast, more shallow than you normally do. Now, you've got to slow that down. All right. You've got to get that excess carbon dioxide that has built up from you breathing in that way out of your lungs because excess carbon dioxide is going to make your brain think that something is really, really wrong with you. Okay. So, and then it feeds into itself. It's like a snake biting its tail. You're already upset, and then your body feels like something's wrong. And so it gives you the reaction like something is wrong. And then you feel like crap again. So instead of doing it that way, we got to start with our deep breathing, okay? Do your deep breathing. What you're going to do is blow out, inhale for a count of 4, hold that breath for a count of 7, and then we're going to blow out for a count of 8. We're holding the breath so that we can get some oxygen into our bodies and use it, okay? Actually, like have some time for our blood to pick up those molecules of oxygen. And then we're blowing out so we can get rid of excess carbon dioxide every time, all right? So, hey, over there on Facebook, I see y'all. Thanks for the likes. Give me likes, give me love. Let the algorithm know you like me. All right, so deep breathing, we're going to do 3 times together, but I want you to do 5 times a day, just on your general basis, every single solitary day. I need you to be doing this consistently so that you get that anxiety. It's from way up here in the stratosphere and start bringing it down to a level where you can actually deal with it. All right. So first things first, gonna take a deep breath in and blow out. Inhale through your nose, 2, 3, 4. Hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful. My voice is a little off right now. I don't know if this is a cold, sinuses, whatever, but I woke up with my voice a little hoarse. But hopefully you feel good doing the deep breathing. How does that feel? How does it feel when you do your deep breathing? Do you feel a little clearer? Do you feel like you got a little oxygen rush to your brain? Do you feel a little sleepy? What goes on when you do your deep breathing? Let me know. All right. And have you been doing your deep breathing? Let me know if you've been doing your deep breathing on a regular basis and how it's making you feel, okay? All right. Next thing that we're always going to talk about every single time I come and speak to you is do your journaling. All right. Have you done your journaling today? Have you sat down with your thoughts for just about 5 minutes a couple of times today and wrote down what you were feeling, wrote down what you were thinking? You need to do that. All right. If you want to start healing this, you've got to start sorting through these feelings. These feelings are tough, they are strong, but they also lie. And when you start to make that journal entry on a regular basis, things like your brain telling you, oh, everything is always terrible and you never have an easy time of it, you can go back in your journal. You can be like, well, you know what? Actually, last week was a good week. I felt some things, but like I was having a good time. My life was okay. Maybe the trauma is lying to me. Maybe that's what's happening here. And that's what you need to have. You need to have some evidence that the trauma is lying, okay? And if you write down your feelings on a day-to-day basis, first thing in the morning for about 5 minutes, and then before you go to bed for about 5 minutes, you will have accurate reflections of your actual day so that your brain and your trauma can't tell you that everything is awful all the time. All right. It will try and make you give up. That trauma response kind of makes you want to give up and isolate and not be around anybody. You will be able to tell that that's what it's doing if you do your journaling on a regular basis. So doesn't matter what kind of journal you use. I've got, let's see, first one I grabbed. This one is hard work, dream big, whatever. Work hard, dream big, whatever. I don't care what kind of journal it is. This one is just plain paper. But I've also got one. I got lots of journals. I also got a journal that is mindfulness journal. It's got stuff in it. All right. So either way, doesn't matter what it is. 5 minutes. First thing in the morning when you wake up, Go get up, go to the bathroom, do a couple of affirmations in the mirror, and then sit down with your journal for a little bit and just think about your day. How's your day going to go? What are triggers that could pop up throughout the day? How are you going to behave towards your mate? How are you going to behave in your day-to-day life, in your business, in your work situations? Think about it first thing. Get a plan down. Just 5 minutes first thing in the morning. And then before you go to bed, it's a great way to lay down the day when you take your journal right before bed and put all of the thoughts and all of the stress into the journal. All right. You can tell your brain, you can actually do this with your brain. You can tell your brain, hey, I wrote all this stuff down, all the stuff that we're trying to deal with right now. It's in this journal. I'm going to go to bed because, we need some beauty rest. I know we need to cut the computer off for a little while. I'm going to go to bed and brain, you be working on this while I'm sleeping. You go ahead and you think this through and you let me know what you came up with in the morning. All right. Give your brain an assignment. Make it start being an employee instead of running you. Okay. Make it be that employee. And then when you wake up in the morning, a lot of the time you will have solutions to whatever problem it was you wrote down in the journal before you went to bed. But you got to actually try it to see how magical it is. Okay. It really does work. All right. Date, time, level of anxiety. Every time you write in your journal, you need to put those things in there just so that you have data points. You can find out that, oh, every night at 9:15 p.m., I'm flipping the hell out. Oh, okay. I know about 8:30, 8 o'clock, I need to be thinking about what I'm going to do to calm myself, center myself, do some self-care, get myself calmer so that I don't flip out at 9:15. You will know and anticipate the triggers. Okay. And last thing you're going to need to put in there is your level of anxiety. Level of anxiety 0 to 10. You need to know how bad it is that you're feeling. All right. If you can put down a 7 at the beginning of your writing session, and then at the end of it, you're like, oh, actually, I feel like I'm about a 4 or 5 now. You can see the difference in your journaling when you're doing it. Okay. You can prove to yourself that it's not just a useless task that is not going to help you. It is a very effective tool if you use it. All right. So 0 to 10, 10 is the most anxious you've ever felt, the worst you've ever felt. You want to rip your hair out, tear your clothes off, run screaming down the street naked. That's how bad it is. It's a loss of control. So either you're a 10 or you're a 0 or you're somewhere in between. Put that down. All right. If you're a 0, make sure you make a note on the page too, so you can come back to that page and be like, "Hey, it was a great day. This day. This day was wonderful." Okay, all right. So then you know that you do have wonderful days. But you're going to do that 0 to 10 just because we want to get a fence around these feelings. We do not want these feelings to grow into Godzilla. Okay, it can only be a 10. That's as bad as it can possibly feel. Okay, don't go beyond that. Don't get in your imagination and be like, oh, it's a 20. No, it's not. 10 is as big as it can get, and that's big enough. Okay, 10 is where we can manage it reasonably in our heads. If you make it to be something bigger than a 10, 20, 100, 1,000, then it gets bigger and bigger inside your head. It's way more difficult for you to be able to control it, get control over it. All right. So, got the journaling thing, got the deep breathing thing. Next thing is little crowd participation. I want you to be grateful. All right. I want you to think of things that you are grateful for. That's why I do Thirsty Thursday, little crowd participation. I always want to put that out there. I want you to share good news with me. Okay. I want you to tell me what wonderful things are happening in your life right this minute, because this trauma is not the only thing that's going on in your life. You have good things that are happening. Okay. You got to be grateful for those good things in order to start feeling better about the bad things. Does that make sense? You all let me know if that doesn't make any sense. John, I see you over there on Instagram. Hey, girl. All right. So, Thirsty Thursday, do you have anything positive that you want to share? Anything that is wonderful that is happening in your life that you want to celebrate with me? I have the post up in the Love After Cheating group, and we got Nicole. Nicole said, I got my old job back, being a paraprofessional working with children with disabilities. It was an amazing job. Nicole, I'm so glad you got that. I'm glad that you like what you do. That's a whole thing. It's like you can go, and do something else, but what you're called to do, it's a whole different thing. And working with children with disabilities, that's a wonderful thing for you to be doing. I'm so glad you got your job back. I'm glad that you're working in the field that you really want to be working in. That is definitely something to be grateful for. I'm loving every minute of it. All right. Fantastic. So, anybody else, mm, if you're here with me now live, or if you're here with me on the replay, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and post something wonderful that's going on in your life. And if I catch it while I'm on here, I will shout you out. Okay. All right. Let's see. My wonderful thing is I am having a challenge. We are doing this challenge. I didn't do this challenge in 2023 at all. I did it last in January 2022. So it is the Big D challenge. All right. And the Big D is your decision to work this out. All right. If you are having a hard time with your decision, if you've been beating yourself up about it, if you've been having some difficulty even making the decision, you're still sitting on the fence, getting splinters in your butt, come on and sign up for my challenge. The Big D challenge starts on January 8th. It goes through the entire week. Every single solitary morning, I will come to you 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and I will give you a piece, something that you can work on, something that you can do, think about, roll around in your head that is going to help you to feel a little bit better about that decision. Okay. You have to make up your mind what you want. And this is the best way you can go about doing it. Getting a whole week worth of coaching from me about making your decision, why it's perfectly fine for you to make this decision, and you're not doing anything wrong. And as a matter of fact, you're doing something very, very right. All right. So come on, join me for the Big D challenge. I'm going to put the link in the comments on my StreamYard, but I'm going to put it in the Instagram link tree too. There we go. That's popped up there. Lovely. All right. So, no other good stuff? All right. That's okay. We got good stuff going on all the time anyway. All right. And last thing that I'm always going to tell you when we first start off, besides do your deep breathing, journaling, being grateful, I need you to stop asking all those damn questions. Okay. It's the funniest thing. I tell everybody this all the time. If you work with me privately, if you work with me in a group, I'm going to tell you this same thing. Stop asking all those questions, okay? There is a reason for that. I know you want to know, okay? I know within your heart of hearts, you want to know, all right? You feel like you need to have all the information, every single detail about what he has done in order to feel better about it. However, I am calling bullshit on that. I just am. It does not work that way. You do not get peace and tranquility hearing details about your mate cheating on you. Okay? You just don't. It does not come from there. All right? Your peace, your tranquility is going to come from inside you. It is not going to come from any answer to any question that you can possibly think to ask. And I'm telling you that I know that that is true because part of the trauma response that you are experiencing is to ask questions. The trauma is what is asking all those questions. That's why you're so desperate to ask the questions, right? It feels like an itch you can barely scratch by just constantly bombarding him with questions, and the itch still doesn't go away, right? There's a reason for that. Your brain is trying to gather all the information it possibly can on this threat. You are treating your mate and everything that they could do as a threat. That's what that is. The constant questioning, that is what you're assuming your mate is to you right now. They are a threat. And if you keep on feeding into that automatic reaction that your brain has to this trauma by constantly asking the questions, you are never going to be at peace. I promise you. I promise it does not work that way. All right. So, what do you do instead? First of all, stop asking all questions. If you can possibly help it, um, questions are expectations. And if you go into a conversation with them with a whole bunch of expectations, you're going to end up that conversation pissed. Okay. It doesn't matter how well you tried to go into it, how much love and vulnerability and happiness you tried to put into it. If you go into the conversation letting yourself ask a whole bunch of questions, you're going to come out with resentment. All right. He is not going to answer the questions right. He's just not going to do that. Stop expecting that. No matter what he says, it's going to be the wrong thing. It's going to hurt your feelings. Whether he says that she mattered or she didn't matter, whether they kissed or they didn't kiss, it does not matter. None of that is going to make you feel better. All right. Stop asking the questions. Stop asking, period. If you can possibly help it, change every question that you're going to ask around to a statement. All right. This is a very simple way to start to get back control of your brain, which is, again, on autopilot in this trauma. You can get back control of your brain by stopping it from asking the question, because that's what it's doing automatically, rethinking that question, and seeing if there's a possible way that you can say it as a statement. If you can't, leave it alone. Okay, that's a good rule of thumb. If you can't switch it around and make this into a statement that is not like accusing, that is not like passive aggressive, that is not mean, if you can't come it around to a regular statement, this is probably not something that you're going to need to talk about right this minute. All right, very simple rule of thumb. So if you want to ask him how his day was today, all right, you come with the expectation that he is going to respond to me. He's going to tell me about how his day was. Then he's going to ask me about my day because I was loving and asked him about his day, right? So then he should be asking me about my day too. That's the expectation. You're going to come in it with that expectation, and you're going to leave mad because he doesn't know what you're expecting. He's not in your brain, okay? Only you are. So if you are expecting something and you don't let him know, he's going to fail that test every time, okay? So instead of that, instead of asking a question, make it a statement, all right? Now, if your brain is just itching, now I know it does. Now, if from the trauma, your brain wants to ask questions. It is a reaction that you really can't help. So if you got to ask a question, these questions are better. All right. This is the and THEAND. This is awesome. Okay. It's 199 questions. This is the healing edition. I've got the long-term couples edition here too. Doesn't matter which one you use. If you want to ask questions, this is a better way to ask questions. Okay. These are questions that were not designed for you to start an argument. Okay. These are questions that are about your relationship, about healing your relationship, about reconnecting. That's really what you want with all the questions, right? You want to be reconnected. You want to feel closer. This is a better way to go about it. This deck is on Amazon. I think it's about $30 right now. It is, if you put in the and in the search on Amazon, pops right up. They got a whole store. They got a whole slew of cards. They got parents and children. They got everything, every kind of card for every kind of relationship. These are excellent questions. So if you want one of these, go ahead and get it. Everybody that has gotten this deck has loved it. So go for it. All right. Let's see. Include me. I love this deck. This is a great deck. All right. So instead of what position did you have sex in? What have we lost? All right. That's touching, right? That touches on something, but it's not an argument. It's not something that's going to make you mad. We gotta dig on this. Got to figure out and be like, okay, well, what have we lost? What have we lost? What's going on with that? All right. Now the question is, what would you say is your initial reaction to conflict? That's an excellent question. Some people don't even know this. Some people do not know what their initial reaction is to a conflict. Okay. I don't know. For me, if once I sense conflict, because I can, I'm real good with conflict because this is what I do. And so as soon as I sense the essence of some conflict coming up, I start plotting. I start trying to figure out, okay, what is this person upset about? What can we do to work on that? I start making plans. So that's a good question. What would you say is your initial reaction to conflict? If it's conflict with me, I don't understand it a lot of the time. If somebody gets mad at me, I don't understand a lot of the time. Most people don't have that much interaction with me. They would get upset with me. So like having conflict with me is kind of out of the ordinary. Um, but if somebody is mad at me, my immediate go to is I'm trying to understand. I want to know what's happening here. What is going on? Why are you upset with me? Is it something I did? Because I will ask myself, I say things on a regular basis that piss people off. So I know that I could do that. So I got to ask myself, did I do that? Did I hurt this person's feeling? Let me find out. All right. So, that's one of those things that you need to know about yourself. How you have a reaction to conflict is important because then you'll know if you have a conflicting reaction to conflict. Guess what? All those arguments need to be worked out a little bit more delicately than you were working them out. All right. And one last one. What's one experience you wish that we shared, but we didn't? Why is that? I love that. That's an excellent question. What's one experience you wish we shared, but didn't? And why? Oh man, there's some my husband could have made like so much stuff so much better. Like if had him at my prom, that would have been great. That would have been freaking great. I didn't even have a date to the prom. I went with friends, so it would have been very nice if we could have been there and shared that experience together. I would have enjoyed it a lot more. But he's 10 years older than me, so he would have been 28, and that would have looked a little funny. So, or he would have been, yeah, he would have been 28, and I was like 27. So, yeah, or I was 17. So, yeah, that would have looked a little funny, but I would have liked to have him there. All right, let's see. Got the questions down. Any questions about any of that stuff that I just went over about doing your deep breathing, doing your journaling, doing your gratitude practice, or not asking all those questions? Any questions about that? All right, I see questions popping up in the group for me to answer. And you know I love a question. All right, so I posted. I wanted everybody to let me know what you want me to talk about. So that's what I'm going to do is answer some questions. Let's see. I said, what would you like to talk about? And hey M, I think this is the first time I've seen you. Said drugs. Ooh, good question, M. That's an excellent one to talk about. That was part of my story too. It all depends. It all depends on your person and what level of drug use we are actually talking about here. Because some people, use drugs and get a little out there. And there are some people who can use them occasionally and, it's not a terribly big deal for their life. I understand either way. I understand that people do their best not to be in pain. And I was a nurse for 20 years. So I know that medicating yourself is a very common thing. People do it all the time. Nobody wants to be in pain. And I think that's the main place to come from when you're dealing with a partner that has a drug addiction. If they have an addiction, that's pain. All right. That's all that is. That is trying so hard to cover up the pain with something that makes them feel a little bit better. And it works really well at first. That's why addiction happens. It works really well the first time. The first couple of times, it's all bliss. Everything is wonderful. You forget all about the things that hurt you. But then you get used to it. Your body starts to get used to it. And then you have more and more that you have to take to be able to get that same level of pain relief. And it never quite gets to that same level of pain relief. And that's why it's so important to work on yourself, to work on your own issues, to work on your own traumas, because it's very easy to fall into taking a drug to alleviate the pain. It is a very easy thing to do because, again, no one likes to be in pain. So if you can come from that place of compassion with your boo and let them know, like, whatever this is you're trying to cover up, Okay. I'm trying to tell you, it is rotting, it is festering. You keep on trying to cover it up with more dirt, and it is not working. You need to start talking about it. You need to start letting it out. And that's where we started. My husband was not big on going to a doctor at all at first. And so it started off with talking to me, to start to come to terms with some of the pain that he was in. But that is a big thing, okay? That is a big thing that usually leads to people doing more drugs. Because as soon as you start to let that out, as soon as you let that genie out the damn bottle, it tries to come for you. So as soon as you acknowledge that pain is like, you've been pushing me down all this time. I'm going to strangle you out now. And that's what it tries to do. So it makes like the drug addiction even worse as they are trying to start working on it. Does that make sense? So it is a very difficult thing to deal with because, you can get to the point where they try and do more drugs and end up killing themselves or end up accidentally overdosing and they didn't mean to. So it is one of those things that you have to be careful about. You have to, when somebody is on drugs, they need community. They need support. That is what they need because drugs are very isolating. It's the same thing as the fear. The fear wants you to isolate, the drugs want you to isolate just as bad. And so, what you have to do is show them that they are not alone, regardless of what the drugs and the fear and the pain in their brain is telling them, that they do have somebody that they can talk to. They do have some support. You will go with them to the doctor. It's not big and scary if you got somebody to go with you. You know what I mean? Like, start to talk about the things, start to talk about the pain, and start uncovering that wound so that you can dig that wound up. Okay, now we can get down to the pus on the inside of the wound, clean that out, and then you can actually start to heal. If you got a wound and it's totally infected on the inside, this is a nurse anecdote, but if you got a wound that's totally infested on the inside, it's just nasty, it's full of pus, it can't close up. That wound can't seal itself because there's this whole gap of nastiness in it. So that wound won't heal. It won't close up. And sometimes it gets worse. It starts tunneling under and getting worse underneath. You have to go in, get that stuff out, and then pack that wound, take care of it, try and keep it dry, try and keep it clean, and then have that suck. It's like what you put dressings down into a wound, it sucks out the rest of the stuff that's in it. So that's what you got to do with a person. Like, you got to actually clean that wound out, whatever pain it was that made drugs seem like the best idea to fix it. That's a big problem. So we need to talk about that. We need to fix this problem, work on this problem, and then that wound can finally start to close. That's what happened with my husband. Once we were able to get past, okay, he was talking to me about it. Then he did actually, when he realized that there was something really going on, he saw a doctor about, found out that he was bipolar. And okay, he wasn't thrilled with the medication that made him feel bad, but he was willing to take it a little bit. He figured out how to feel even as he is working through some of the emotional stuff at the same time. And then he was able to maintain it after that. But it's a whole process. It's a whole thing that you need to do. So if you do have a person who is addicted to drugs, first of all, they got to want to get better. But if you're going to do anything, it's just going to be there to support them. Tell them that you want to hear about whatever this pain is that they are trying so desperately to cover up with drug use, and let them know that that pain can come out, that infection can be gone. It doesn't have to ruin the rest of their lives. All right. Does that make sense to you, Em? Let me know. Let me know if there's something deeper you want me to go into about that. But it just depends on the person, and it depends on what drug. A lot of drugs, you get down with the meth, and that's like physically dependent. Heroin, physically dependent on it. So it's very hard. You got to be careful coming off, making sure that seizures don't happen. A lot of people who come off of those heavier drugs that are bodily addicting have seizures when they're coming off, and the seizures is the dangerous part. That's the thing that can hurt you. when they're coming off. And then when they're coming off, the other dangerous thing is relapse, because and relapse is a part of recovery. That's part of it with drugs. But if you have a relapse, you think that you can take the same amount of drugs that you did in the first place, and people end up overdosing like that. So it's difficult, and it really is. But if you can be there and support your mate and just let them know, look, I'm here to hear you out. However, we may need some like professional help with helping you get out of pain. Would you like to get out of pain? Like, it's not even about the drugs. It's not about the cheating. It's not about any of that. It's, would you like to get out of pain? Would you stop? Would you want to stop living like this if you had a choice? And sometimes if you can present that choice to them, they'll make that choice. But let me know, if there's something deeper you want me to talk about with that. I got your back. Let's see. Oh, I can't see the other screen. See if anybody asked any other questions over here. All right, don't see anything over there. All right, let's see. Got another question from, hold on, let me look. This is from Hiroko. Hiroko, hi. I don't think you've ever said anything. Hi, hello, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Hiroko said, raging anger. That was that's the whole question right there. Raging anger. What can we do about it? Where does it come from? What would you like to know about that? Let's start with the basics. The raging anger. Usually, anger is the cover up for fear and pain. Usually, it's okay to go ahead and feel anger, especially with men. Men in particular are trained in that, but a lot of women don't want to feel the hurt, don't want to feel the pain and the fear part. So it comes out, it comes to the surface as that raging anger. And the thing about that is, okay, now you're raging, all right? You're not the best partner either now, all right? That's the whole thing about the rage and anger, is you want to say that you're so much better of a partner and how you would never do this, that, and the third, but you're willing to flip the hell out on them, okay? You're willing to destroy stuff. You're willing to scream in their face. You're spitting too, okay? You're this close to their face. You are spitting in their face, okay? You want to punish them. You want them to hurt, okay? Hey, Liz, I see you over there on Instagram. If you are in the raging anger phase, you're not the best of partners right now either. All right. So we want to just come back over to the same side, because we want to be on the right side. All right. You're already right. Okay. Let's not let the raging anger make you be wrong. All right. That's how I feel about it. If I'm raging, I can't control myself. And if I can't control myself, I'm going to say and do things that I would never consider doing under any other circumstance, because I'm raging. All right. And we don't know with him. It might have been he was feeling something that he had never felt before, something so strong that made him go cheat. All right. If you are saying, because of my emotions, I can just do what I want, even if I know it's the wrong thing, then you can't say a word to him about cheating. That's the messed up part about it. If you're saying that that's justified, if you're saying it is perfectly all right for you to be raging, for you to break his stuff, for you to burn up his clothes, for you to crash his car, for you to key it, if you're saying that raging anger is justified because you feel a feeling and you are responding to that feeling, then you're saying it's okay that he felt a feeling and went ahead and cheated. It's the same level. Does that make sense to you? I know that that's a hard analogy. I know you don't feel like that's fair, but it is the same, knowing what the positive, good thing to do is and saying, well, my feelings count the most. I'm going to do what I feel like anyway. I'm going to just go ahead and do something that is going to hurt my partner regardless. If you keep raging out, you have shown that that's the standard. That is the standard. That is what happens here. I can do what I want because I am feeling some kind of way. I am justified in whatever I feel like doing. And he's going to feel the same way. He's going to be like, well, if you feel justified, I feel justified too. And now we've got this situation where it's tit for tat all the time. Now I want to get you back. Well, you got to get me back. And we're being children to each other. All right. So I know the raging anger. I know it's strong. I know it is. I know the sensation of wanting to throw the thing. I know that you want to scream. I know that you want to break stuff, but do your deep breathing. All right. First and foremost, do your deep breathing. And then I want you to rethink what you're about to do. Just give yourself a couple extra minutes when you're raging. Now, the rage, when you're feeling the rage, the problem with the rage is it comes on pretty fast. So, what you're going to need to do is check your body frequently. All right. Because you will be raging angry before your conscious brain has caught up to the fact that you're raging angry. Okay. Does that make sense? You will be there already. You will be acting upon it before your conscious mind says, oh, I'm raging pissed right now. It will not be faster than that. Okay. So you are going to have to look at your body, not your brain, when it comes to trying to deal with this. You're going to have to look at yourself, scan your body on a regular basis. There is a way you feel when you are raging out, okay? I bet you it feels like fire comes up your chest and up your throat, and you want to say the thing. All right. The evilest, meanest thing you can say out of your mouth. You can feel it fills up your mouth and you want to say it more than anything. Okay. That is a physical feeling. You can figure out that that physical feeling, that thing crawling up your chest is the rage and say, hold up, wait a minute. I do not want to be raging. I do not want to say that you can just do whatever you feel like just because you feel justified. So let me do my deep breathing. Let me get this monster back down my throat and make sure that it doesn't pop out and punch him in the face. All right. That's what we need to do. Some people, it is the heart starts pounding. It feels like your heart is about to pound out of your chest. I am real good about, oh, this all gets warm. It starts from down on my neck and it starts creeping up my face and it's getting hot. And I feel myself turning red. And I'm like, oh, it's creeping up. It's there. All right. Your ears start getting aflame. All right. There is something that happens physically in your body, not in your head. It is not a thought. It is not an emotion. It is a physical sensation. And you have to be paying attention to the body that you're in, especially to heal this trauma. Okay. If you are controlling what the body is doing, that is controlling that trauma response, calming it down, making you have a better time with this. Okay. So we've got to be paying attention. If it's the feeling of your skin crawling, if it's all of a sudden your palms get sweaty and you got the clenching your teeth, you got your shoulders are all the way up to your ears. There is something physical that happens as you are getting that raging mad feeling that happens in this body that you are currently occupying, that you have to actually start paying attention to when it starts. Okay. Don't wait until it's already here. Okay. If the monster started off way down here and it was trying to creep up your chest and creep up your throat, you got to stop it down here. Okay. You can't stop it when it's right here. It's already out of the mouth. Okay. You need to pay attention to what your body is feeling before the rage just starts spitting things everywhere. Does that make sense? The rage is what gets us. The rage is what makes them feel justified. Later on, they're like, well, you treated me so bad and you were so awful and you were so this and that. Yeah, because you cheated. But again, that's just justifying it. It's saying that I can do something hurtful to you because I feel like it. And if that's the way we're playing the game, then they can do something hurtful to you and feel justified about it too. So we've got to stop justifying. We've got to stop. We've got to get control of ourselves, start recognizing that feeling heating up in our bodies, starting to cook. We need to start realizing what's happening then before it gets all the way out of our mouths. Does that make sense to everybody? You let me know if that sounds crazy. You don't know what I'm talking about. Let me know. All right, but that's excellent questions, y'all. Hiroko, glad you popped up with that because that is an important thing. That rage and anger. Ooh, honey, yeah. And the messed up part is other women will tell you that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly justified. And yes, you're so angry and you deserve to take it out on him. And that's actually abusive. If he's mad and he just decides to take out all his anger on you, isn't that abuse? Even if he's mad at you. Even if he's mad at you and it's a reasonable thing that he's mad about, him taking it out on you, doesn't that cross a line? We've got to start considering that we cross the line too. That's all. Just consider that you're crossing the line and try and pull yourself back from that because once you rage on out, then it's really hard to get back from that. Like once you say the thing, you said it. Okay, there's no taking it back. All right. Any other questions? Any other good stuff you want to talk about? Anything gratitude? I'm here with you for another 10 minutes. It is almost Christmas. Oh my goodness. It is the 21st of December. We are having Christmas on Monday. And I'm not ready. I ain't ready. I hope you all are ready. We got to get ready to move though. We got to move within this next month. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm preparing for. The whole Christmas thing. It's all set up in the living room. It's pretty, and we got presents and everything. But yeah, I'm focused on getting up out of here, moving. All right. Any questions, comments, thoughts, complaints, anything that you want to talk about? Well, shoot. Then I'm gonna talk about my challenge one more time. I want you to get on the Big D challenge. Come on, sign up. Now, people have been signing up left and right since yesterday, okay? People have been signing up. But I want this to be the biggest Big D challenge yet. I want so many women to make a new decision for themselves for this upcoming year. You're going to have resolutions anyway, right? You're going to be trying to change things in the new year anyhow. Why not come to class with me? Figure out how to make this decision and how to be a powerhouse about this decision, how to stand tall in your decision. That is what really freaks out a lot of women that I talk to is other people make them feel so bad about making this decision that they feel like they're doing something wrong and then they don't consistently follow through with it. And then that's not really making a decision. If you haven't made the decision and stuck with it, then you haven't really made the decision. You decided and then you kind of went back on your word. If you stand tall in this decision, okay, if you have decided that you are not going to be forced into a corner about this, you have every choice about what you're going to have happen in this relationship going forward. It is not just a choice of, oh, you got to leave, all right? I think that's the scariest part of all. People are always saying, oh, you got to leave. No, I don't got to do nothing, all right? That's not at all how this works. I can choose what I want to happen. There are always two distinct choices. Either I'm going to stay and work things out and I'm actually going to be happy, or I'm going to leave and we're not going to work things out and we are not going to be happy together, but I'm going to be happy anyway. All right. You got to make the decision that you really want to stick this out and work this out and be happy afterward, not just staying for the kids. Okay, not just that, not just sticking around and being roommates. That's some bullshit. You should not have to live like that. I want you to have a happy, healthy, trusting, vulnerable, fun relationship with your boo, even after this has happened. So you got to make up your mind that that's the type of life you're going to live. That's what you got to do. And that's all the Big D Challenge is about. We are talking about making this decision. I will give you challenges every day that week that you can do. They're going to be simple things. They're not going to be real complex, but very complex ideas behind them. Okay. Which is why you should sign up for the VIP too. The challenge itself is completely free. All right. Absolutely free. You come on, you be with me every morning, 11 o'clock. I am going to be there. I'm going to be teaching you. Okay. But if you want a little bit of one-on-one time with me, you want a little alone time, you want to be able to ask all the questions, you want to be able to go over what I went over in the class that day, come on and join the VIP. Until the end of the year, until the 31st, it's only $7. So every day I'm going to do the live, and then I'm going to go live with just my VIP group, totally free, asking all your questions. I'm going to give you all the answers I got. We're going to go over everything that I talked about that day. We're going to go in more depth about whatever it was that I talked about that day. And on top of that, you're going to be able to get the videos for an extra 2 weeks. The videos of this challenge are going to come down that following week. So you're going to get an extra 2 weeks on top of that to be able to watch the videos when you feel like it. Okay. If you want to go back over them, you want to explore a little bit, you can do that because you'll have availability. All right. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to go sign up. All right. It is in the Love After Cheating group. Matter of fact, I need to put it on Love Coach Dasha. Look, what am I thinking? Didn't put it on Love Coach Dasha's page. All right, put that up there. It is going to be in the link tree on my Instagram as soon as I get off. Let me post that right here. Oh, well, I can't paste. Okay, I can't paste at the moment, but okay. All right, I'll sign that up. I'll put that on my Love Coach Dasha page too. I want you all to get in on this Big D challenge. It was good. I've done it twice. I had this is the one. No, the Tricky Triggers challenge I've only done once, but this is a challenge that I've done before. That's good. It's fun. It's a good thing to do. And I give out prizes at the end, girl. I give out prizes. I give out Amazon gift cards. I give out journals. You could literally get this journal. If you win, I will send you a picture of all the journals that I have. I have a whole bunch of them, and you can pick which journal you want. You get a journal, you get a pen, you get an Amazon gift card, you get my book, you get a time with me, you get some some free time with me if you win. So sign up. Sign up. It's not hard. It's not difficult. It is absolutely free unless you want to get in on the VIP and get a little bit of extra help. But you all from my group, you all from my Instagram, you all are going to get the first crack at it. You only get the $7 for the VIP. So if you want some help making this decision, and you want to feel good about it, you want to feel positive about it, by the end of the week in January, come on and do my Big D challenge. All right. All right, so y'all, that is about the end here. So let me tell you about your affirmations before I go. Always want you to be doing affirmations. Now let's go over what an affirmation is. An affirmation is not just a good thing. An affirmation is whatever you tell your brain. Okay? Whatever you are consistently telling your brain over and over and over again, that is an affirmation. If you tell your brain that you're so horrible and he never loved you, that's an affirmation. Your brain will start to believe it. All right? We've got to change those messages. We've got to make sure that we are saying good, positive, wholesome, wonderful things about ourselves so that our brains know exactly what we think about ourselves and starts to look for those good things within us and then starts looking for good things around us. Okay? So instead of all of that negativity in your brain, you need a good affirmation that is going to make you feel good about yourself. So if you're going to do an affirmation, what you need to do is look yourself in the eye, whether you're on camera or in the mirror, doesn't matter. Look yourself in the eye, and you are going to tell yourself this affirmation like you believe it with your whole entire heart. Say it with your chest, okay? I need you to say this like you believe it, like it is the best news you've ever heard. You believe it fully and completely. You know that this is the true thing, all right? Say it to yourself like that. And then throughout the day, continue to say it to yourself over and over and over and over and over again, so that when those negative thoughts come up, you've got a thought to fight back against it. Okay? You've got a thought that you can hang on to. You can like Rose, you go on at the end of the Titanic. Jack couldn't come on that ride. Jack couldn't stay on the door, but you can. All right. And you are going to keep repeating that affirmation, letting that affirmation keep you afloat throughout the day, believing in it, depending on it, showing your brain that that is what you are choosing. Okay. It's a lot of choosing that needs to happen here. You need to choose a lot of things. And it's unfair that you have to choose, but guess what? It's your life. So if you don't choose, then nobody will. All right. So instead of thinking that it's so unfair, embrace all your choices. Okay. All right. So the affirmation for today is today I am ready to receive love. Woo, that's a hard one right there. That means you got to be open. That means you got to let the wall down. At least put a door or a window in that wall. You know what I'm saying? Like we cannot have a wall just in between us and you know what I'm saying, you get love. You can't receive the love through the wall. So you got to have a window or something. You got to open up some space in that wall, let it down in some way, and able to receive, to be able to that receive that love. So that's what we need to work on. I think that's an excellent thing to work on all week. I think that's a great thing for going into the Christmas season. Today, I am ready to receive love. Today, I am open to being loved by another healthy person. We not even gonna say healthy because for real, and there's not too many of us out here that are terribly healthy. Okay, I figured it out. We all got issues. Right? Yeah, it's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. We're all just doing the best we possibly can. But we are designed to love one another. We want to love one another. So even when we're not at our healthiest, we should still be able to love. All right. And we should be able to receive love from, even if the person is not the healthiest, they should still be able to give love too. All right. So today I am ready to receive love. Today I am open to being loved by another person. All right. That's a good one. That's a good one to end on. So, my people, I will be back again. I'm going to do this. Hopefully, my voice will get a little bit better. I will be back again on the 28th after we've all had presents and stuffed ourselves and got fed up with our families. I will be here again on the 28th. I'm here for you, okay? We're going to do the Healing Hour Live one more time before the new year, okay? So hopefully we can party it up then. Y'all come on and join me. Hopefully it'll be a good day. And in the meantime, sign up for my Big D challenge. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram and follow me on TikTok. I don't have enough to go live on TikTok yet, but eventually I'm gonna get there. Like Love Coach Tasha, let the algorithm know you love me. All right, y'all. That is about it. That's all I got for you, I think. May you have a very Merry Christmas. I hope that you are happy. If you hadn't told your honey what to get you by now, don't be mad now that you didn't get exactly what you want. Go get what you feel like and go ahead and have a happy holiday, okay? All right. That's it. That's all I got for you. Thank you so much for joining me for the Healing Hour Live. I will be back again next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. And in the meantime, do your deep breathing, do your journaling, be grateful. Don't ask so many damn questions. Say your affirmations and don't do what the fear tells you to do. All right? In the meantime, I love you and I'm so, so proud of you. And I will see you again next week. All right? Bye, y'all. Bye, Instagram. And bye, Facebook and YouTube.